Now at 10, how the community can get more out of the donations to the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri. Plus, Missouri American Water is celebrating Infrastructure Week and hundreds of millions of dollars in investments. And the family of Kenneth Matthews speaks out about his unsolved murder 1 year after his death in Joplin.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri in Joplin will receive thousands of dollars in tax credits through a state program. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Yana Hautala talked with club officials about the importance of the credits and heard from some of the kids impacted.
The State of Missouri's Youth Opportunities Program awarded the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri $200,000 in tax credits.
It also gives a donor an opportunity to give a little more because it all depends. I'm not an accountant, but it kind of depends what your tax bracket is. But say you give $1,000, may only cost you $500.
Rhonda Gorham, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Southwest Missouri, says this is an opportunity to give back to donors. When they write a check, they can be written a 50% tax credit. The club provides different activities for 6 to 18-year-olds and needs a lot of staff.
The funds go for just our programming. It can go summer or after school program. It helps us pay for staff. A lot of grants will not necessarily pay for staffing, and we employ 80 staff. So, it takes a lot of money to cover that.
The programs occupy a lot of young students' afternoons.
If I was home, it would be more boring because there's no one to really communicate with.
And bring students from different schools together.
We went to small gym and we figured out that we both like sports and we started becoming friends.
Gorham says the $200,000 tax credits are spread over 2 years.
Once it's gone, it's gone. So we encourage people that if they want to make a donation and help us out right now, we just turn around, give them their paperwork back, and they can get it on their taxes this year.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
The state's Youth Opportunities Program has up to $6 million in tax credits to award annually. This is Infrastructure Week, and to celebrate, Missouri American Water is highlighting its investments plan this year. The company will invest a total of $425 million into water and wastewater system upgrades. Most of that will come in the form of replacing 43,000 feet of water pipe in Joplin. Officials say replacing aging pipes improves system reliability and improves fire protection.
We're actually replacing old water main and we're upsizing, which means better flow and better fire protection. And in this case, we're actually looping it into some other water mains, so water quality will improve as well.
You can view all of Missouri American Water's planned pipe replacement projects on their website. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it turned out to be a dreary, kind of chilly day for us today. We had the clouds drizzled throughout the day. High temp only 64, but we didn't vary much. We started at 60, but our average high is 77, so well below where we should be. All right, clouds starting to break up. There's still a little bit of drizzle in spots, plus we're getting a little bit of patchy fog out there that we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. Most of us still holding fairly steady into lower 60s. We are going to see that fog building in, especially along and south of the I-44 corridor. Not as thick once you get out across southeastern parts of Kansas as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures eventually dip back to 56, back to 68 by 10 a.m. We're going to be tracking some thunderstorms by the time we get into late Thursday into Friday. I'll have those details here in a bit.
See you soon. A Columbus man wanted by police has been arrested after a chase crossed state lines. That chase began in Joplin when police noticed a pickup truck believed to be driven by a suspect out of Cherokee County, Kansas. The chase ended up leaving Joplin and going through Jasper County before ending near Crestline, Kansas, by the Missouri border. That's where authorities arrested Stephen Tyner of Columbus, who was wanted in Cherokee County for rape, attempted murder, and kidnapping in the stabbing of a woman in Galena back in December. It's the first anniversary of the murder of Kenneth K. Matthews in Joplin. According to the Joplin Police Department, Matthews was walking with a friend around 6 p.m. a year ago on South Connor Avenue. Matthews was shot multiple times and was pronounced dead at the scene. The shooter fled in a dark-colored vehicle. A year later, the JPD is still looking for that shooter.
To be honest, it's been a distant relationship with the family. There's not a lot of close family in this area. We did identify a son, a biological son that lives on the east side of the state, but he's had issues in the Children's Division, state's custody.
If you have any information on this case, you should contact the Joplin Police Department. A Springfield high school teacher accused of repeatedly using a racial slur in a classroom has resigned. The district also suspended the student who made a video of the teacher, suspended that student for 3 days. As Joe Hickman reports, the student's family has hired an attorney.
The incident at a Glendale geometry class involved a teacher saying the N-word 6 times in a class discussion, where a 15-year-old sophomore named Mary decided to turn on her cell phone and record, as another student was warning the teacher of his inappropriate actions.
Is the word not allowed?
Okay, so I'm going to say right now, as a teacher, if you want to keep your job, this isn't a threat.
I'm not calling anyone.
I understand.
I can say the words.
Today, a statement from the district said the teacher had resigned and also justified its 3-day suspension of Mary for recording the video, saying it was a clear violation of the student handbook against using electronic devices.
I don't know if it would have happened that quickly without this video. An investigation certainly would have taken longer without being able to just see the video and hear him say the word.
Natalie Hull is a Chillicothe attorney representing Mary and her family.
We've asked them to lift the suspension, let her go back to school immediately, and apologize. Mary saw something that she believed needed to be reported. She captured this as a news event. It was a news event. It's become a news event.
In fact, the Washington Post has contacted Null. And today, the National Radio Television Digital News Association, based in Washington, sent a letter to SPS defending Mary as well. Their president, Dan Shelley, a former SPS student and news director at KTTS, pointed out,
I think it deserves attention nationally because the issue of right to record public officials really came to fruition in the days after the tragic death of George Floyd. And bear in mind, the world would not have seen the full picture of what happened to George Floyd were it not for a 17-year-old girl who stood on the sidewalk and videotaped the entire incident.
Shelley and Null also say they believe the student handbook is too restrictive, Null pointing to a part that prohibits students from video recording acts of violence.
They could get in trouble for capturing evidence of a crime.
I think the handbook policy as currently written is unconstitutional. More than half the U.S. District Courts of Appeal have unequivocally stated that citizens have a right lawfully to record the activities of public officials.
We contacted the teacher, who turned down our offer to speak, and as for the 15-year-old student,
she's dealing with anxiety. She doesn't really understand what she did wrong. It makes me sad because she did bring something to light that needed to be brought to light. She made what I call, and her mother calls, good trouble.
Missouri officials terminated the Republican Attorney General's emergency rule that would have placed limits on transgender care for minors and some adults. The move was announced today without explanation on the Missouri Secretary of State's website. The rule would have required adults and children to undergo more than a year of therapy and fulfill other requirements before they could receive gender-affirming treatment such as puberty blockers, hormones, and surgery. Coming up, students at an elementary school in Joplin have a new way to stay active on the playground. Plus, how the Miami Chamber of Commerce is trying to empower female entrepreneurs. Joplin Elementary School is celebrating the completion of a new walking and running track for their playground. McKinley Elementary officials in Joplin today held a ribbon cutting to unveil that new track. The 200-meter-long, 6-foot-wide track was made from 100% recycled materials. Officials say it'll give students another way to stay active during recess and PE classes.
Material is great for our students. It is a soft material, so if a kid was to trip and fall, they're going to bounce right back up. It actually allows our kids who say, hey, I can run fast, on this track, they can run very fast.
I would find the playground more interesting because we have a place to exercise.
Well said. The track was paid for with a $45,000 grant from Missouri Playground Scrap Tire Material and $11,000 in local donations. The Miami, Oklahoma Chamber of Commerce is trying to empower female entrepreneurs. The Chamber hosted a Women in Business Connection luncheon featuring a presentation titled Closing the Generation Gap. It was a chance for female business leaders to network and to find common ground among entrepreneurs of varying ages. A little later, Pittsburgh High School hosts KC Piper for its first game of playoff baseball. We'll have the highlights in sports.
Plus, we're going to get some sunshine back as we go into Wednesday. We're going to look at that coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be a gloomy one for us today. Temperatures have struggled to warm up as we could only go into really only into the mid 60s for afternoon highs. Some patchy fog for us tonight, but starting to warm back up tomorrow. Temperatures right now are sitting mainly into the lower 60s after really topped out at about 64, 65. This afternoon. But still, it's 64 in Coffeyville, Veneta at 62, and Fort Scott. Lamar at 62, we have Bentonville at 61. You can still see some moisture on the tower cam. It's still some pockets of light drizzle, but 62. Still have the clouds outside. Humidity is high and the winds are light. That means we're going to get some patchy fog as we go through the overnight hours tonight. I think we'll drop back to about 56, but look at this. We rebound to 68 by 10 a.m. All right, so we still have some clouds out there, some patchy fog. And again, this is very low cloud, so it's even hard to be picked up. But besides that, most of the Central Plains looking pretty good. All right, big dome of high pressure out to the southwest. It forces any storm systems up into Montana and they slide down. We're going to see an example of that late Thursday into Friday. But we can't really get any big upper level waves in here that give us severe weather until the high breaks down. So next week will be more similar to what we had last week when we get that high pressure to break down with numerous severe weather events. All right, for us tonight, watch out for the fog, especially along and south of I-44, really picking up into northeastern parts of Oklahoma. But then we're going to get some sunshine out there as we go through the morning hours. Chilly start, mid-50s. We're going to go to the noon hour. Most of us 72, 73 degrees. Let's move to late afternoon. You can see some spotty showers trying to pop up, isolated showers. I really think 85% of us across the viewing area end up staying dry. High temps kind of 75 to about 77, a little bit warmer western counties. As we go into tomorrow night, we clear out, still kind of cool, upper 50s to near 60. As we go into Thursday, we start to get a little bit of a southerly wind, helps us warm up near 80. By the time we head into Thursday afternoon. Next batch of rain. This is going to roll in Thursday night after midnight into Friday morning. Showers, thunderstorms. Some of these could be stronger, but it looks like with the timing, doesn't look like much in the way of severe weather, which is good news. 58 to start, 72 by noon. High temp, right around 76 degrees. But we are going to cool down with this next storm system. A cold front slides in Friday morning. So periods of showers, few thunderstorms. It looks like the heaviest will be in our southern counties. Rain a good chunk of the day on Friday. Then we clear out. But look at our overnight lows by Saturday morning. We're going to be dropping 47-ish, 46 across the region, which is pretty chilly. All right, 76 tomorrow, 79 on Thursday, 69 on Friday. We do clear out just in time for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine. We start chilly in the mornings, but nice afternoons into the 70s. Thunderstorm chances back in next week.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday looking very pleasant.
Yeah, pretty good.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Missouri Southern Baseball prepares to host a regional for the first time in more than 30 years. And Pittsburgh High School softball punches their ticket to state for the first time since 2002. Jacob Leonard has that and more up next.
Today is the opening day of the playoffs for Pittsburgh High School baseball. The Purple Dragons are the 4th seed in the 5A East bracket after going 15-5 in the regular season. Pittsburgh hosts KC Piper this afternoon with the winner moving on to the regional championship game. At the top of the second, Quentin Fears got the curveball working. Strikeout there. Moments later, another strikeout. Pittsburgh leads it 3-0 going to the bottom of the second. Now here with a man on third, Tucker Akins. Lines it to left. That scores Dawson Stegman easily. RBI single for Akins makes it 4-0 Purple Dragons. This one turned into an offensive battle, but Pittsburgh goes on to win it 12-9. So now to the championship. Pittsburgh faces Spring Hill for the regional title. Second inning here, Hagen Whitcraft reaches out, pokes it through the right side. Holden Luff scores. Merrick Mugridge right behind him. 2-run single for Whitcraft. Spring Hill scores 4 in the second. On to the fifth, Pittsburgh gets on the board. Pitch gets by, Jaden Brown comes in from third. At that point, it's 5-1. The Dragons looking for more here, but check this play out. Tucker Akins off Donovan Johnson's glove, but Johnson recovers, slides and throws for the out. Great play there. Spring Hill takes this one 7-1. Pittsburgh finishes as regional runner-up. Now in Girard this afternoon, Baxter Springs and Frontenac meet in the first round of the 3A regional bracket. First inning, leadoff man Lane Sullivan for Frontenac. Hard shot to left, bounces all the way to the fence. Sullivan into second, leadoff double. A couple batters later, Alex Williams delivers a liner to center. Sullivan comes home from second, and the Raiders have the first run of the ball game. Sticking around on the first, bases loaded for Cal Turlip. He sneaks one through the right side. 1 run scores on that. Mario Mangini right behind him for another. 4 runs for Frontenac in the first. Then next inning, Mario Mangini, bases loaded, gets it through the left side. That brings in 2 more for the Raiders. Frontenac cruises by Baxter Springs in the regional opener 12-2 in 5 innings. On the Missouri side, McDonald County, the number 1 seed in the Class 5 District 7 tournament. They face Ruskin in the first round this afternoon. McDonald County wins big 15-0. They move on to face Warrensburg in the district semifinals. The Webb City Cardinals are the 2 seed in that bracket. They hit the field against the Grandview Bulldogs in their playoff opener. Another big win and a shutout here. Webb City takes it 13-0. Cardinals will face the winner of Bolivar and Belton in the district semifinals on Thursday night. Moving now to softball, the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons have earned the right to host a regional after going 14-6 in the regular season. Pittsburgh hits the field this afternoon against Lansing in the regional semifinals. The Purple Dragons are the 4 seed in the bracket. Lansing is the 13 seed. The winner of this one advances to the regional championship game. Now, Rory Hunziker in the circle for the Purple Dragons in this one. She was really good. Top of the first with runners on, Hunziker gets the first out of the game with a strikeout, and she ends the inning with another one. Pittsburgh out of the jam. The top of the third now, no score. Check this out. Callie Terry makes an unbelievable catch in foul territory here, but Lansing, with a runner on third, they were ready for it. Sack fly makes it 1-0 Lansing. Now, bottom of the third, same score. Heather Mowdy stealing second here for Pittsburgh. The throw, though, gets into the outfield. That allows Maya Russell to score. Purple Dragons tied up at 1. Dragons get a solo homer from Megan Johnston in the 6th in this one. They win a good one, 2-1. So now Pittsburgh faces Bonner Springs for a regional title. The winner here goes to the state tournament. Bottom of the 5th, Pittsburgh already out to a 5-1 lead. Gabby White up, hammers this one into the gap. Check it out. Bounces off the top of the fence. Goes over. That's a 2-run homer for White. Purple Dragons push their lead to 7-1. Then in the top of the 7th, last chance for Bonner Springs. Comebacker here goes right to Megan Johnston. Slings it over to first, and that's the ball game. Purple Dragons beat Bonner Springs 7-1. Headed to the state tournament for the first time since 2002.
Well, this was the goal from the very beginning. We wanted to win conference, we wanted to host a regional, we wanted to win it, we wanted to go state. This is 3 years in the making, so it's not just this year. We just happened to succeed this year, but this has been making for the last 3.
Just put it all out there because we have nothing to lose. We have no seniors, so it was just put everything out there. It's okay if we lose, but let's just go all out.
The Missouri Southern Lions are back in the Division II Baseball National Tournament. The Lions have earned the number 2 seed in the Central Region, making their first appearance in a regional since 2019. The Lions finished as MIAA tournament runner-up last weekend. They head into the regional with a 42-15 overall record. Southern faces Arkansas Tech in the first round Thursday night, and they get to do it on their own field, making it their first home regional tournament game since 1992.
We've played in some intense games, with the 2 rounds of playoffs and, some of the teams in our league. So hopefully, you know, we had gained some experience with that last year, and gained some more throughout the season. But yeah, I mean, there's definitely a different level of intensity, and
it's really awesome. You know, I'm a local guy. I'm from Webb City, so I'll have, you know, family and friends out. You know, a lot of my friends will come to the home games and they cheer real loud for us. If you've been to a game, you know who they are. Yeah.
What a great spring for Missouri Southern baseball and softball. Softball hosts a regional for the first time since '93. Baseball hosts a regional for the first time since '92. Bunch of history being made there.
I guess so. We'll be right back. It's Chance to Own a place where everybody knows your name. The bar from the TV show Cheers is up for auction in Dallas, Texas. Not a building. I'm talking about the bar itself. The bar is broken into 3 sections and contains some famous autographs from several cast members who carved their names into the wood. How about that? You can build your man cave around the bar itself. And Cheers.
Biggest shows in TV history.
Yeah, get Norm to stop by maybe. The rain going to be stopping eventually. I guess kind of moving out already.
Yeah, we still have a little bit of drizzle out there and some patchy fog for us tonight. 76 tomorrow. We could get a random afternoon shower, and then pushing 80 on Thursday.
Final sports
A little
news.
shiny over there.
Huh? My head is shining. Yeah, I was out sweating and shooting softball this evening.
Need a little powder.
That's what happens there, and it's just shaved clean. That's just,
Yeah.
I like it that way. Anyways, another busy day of playoff baseball and softball tomorrow. 3A regional baseball, Girard. 3A regional softball in Columbus. We'll have it all covered tomorrow.
Thanks for joining us. Morning show, 5 a.m. Let's make it a great tomorrow.